I'm back. uh, oh, oh my God! I gotta get these dogs. They're fighting over a piece of tissue here. Hey, 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 hey you, hey you. Give me that. Hey you, hey you. Oh my God! This is why you gotta stay in your little crate. You cannot be out and about dropping little surprises for me in the forms of little nuggets. Little nuggets that look like chocolate dip. You poo-poo. You and your poo-poo. You gotta stay in your crate, little poo-poos. You little poo-poo heads. My babies. These dogs are a trip. There's something else, huh? Yo! Okay, so listen, here I am, okay? I'm right here. Don't fret, don't fret. You two need to be put back in your little crate, okay? Because otherwise you two are running amok all over, and I don't, you, come over here, you, come here, come here, you, come here, come here, come here, you. Come here, you. Here they go. Here's my chillins. Here they go. Here's my chillins. What's that red? What's that red sign? I don't got my glasses on. What do you got on my? What are you putting on my page over here? Uh, what did it say? Okay. Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Alright. Yeah. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Look at my children. Look at my little babies. These are direct relatives, family members. Etta Jane and Bear. Mr. Hey Now, Damon, Mr. Damon Smith. These are his cousins. And there's his children's cousins. So we are family. We are family. And right here, this is Chiquita. This is Maggie May. Maggie May, she's a Pisces. She likes to draw. She likes to write. And she could slam poet like nobody know it. And this right here is Marky Mark. And Marky Mark just doesn't listen, just like a typical boy. Marky Mark, I was holding him earlier, and Marky Mark wiggled and fell into the water bowl and his little head, and I was like, oh God, and then he was, oh my God. Just very, very spunky, but luckily he's okay. Baby. But like so wiry, so wiry. So here they go. 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 And I'll show you everybody Benji. They had their cousin Benji. Benji is my brother's dog. And Benji is he's so sweet, right baby. You couldn't go near this dog. This dog was because he was abused. But I'm the healer, so I was able to get him out of his aggressiveness. Right, baby? Because I'm the healer. I'm the healer. I'm a savage, but I'm a healer. Only a savage when it comes to dealing with garbage and trash bags that need to be, they need to be slapped down anyway. Hi, thank you. Yes, my babies, look, thank you. Yes, they're going to go now June 6th. Yeah, June 6th, they will be 3 months old. And I got to take them to get microchipped. I don't know if I could do it that young. And they have to get more vaccinations. Oh, hello. Right, here they go. You love mama. You love the mama. Okay, are you gonna go? Okay, Benji, you're gonna come up too. Hold on, I'm gonna show you up too. Come here, Benji. Hold on, let me show Benji. Come on. Let me pick you up. Come on. You want me to pick you up? All right. Come on. I'll show you. Hold on. Come on. You go back in your little crate here. You go back in your little crate. Crate to great. Come here. Come on, good boy. Come on. I want to show you off. What are you doing? Come on. Hey, baby. Come here. I want to pick you up. Sammy, come on. I just want to pick you up. I want to show you off. See? Here's Sammy. Sammy was tied to a radiator in an apartment building, right? And we're going to give that people the middle thumb paw and tell them, you know what? Take this and you twirl on it for doing this to me, an innocent dog. You useless sacks of poop, right? Look, he's okay. He's a little apprehensive. He's a good boy. Good boy. Say hi. Hi, my name is Benji. I'm a rescue. I need a haircut. But other than that, I'm pretty chill. Come on, let's go. Ready? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And so the children's are well. The owner of the canine children's is well. And that's that. How's everybody doing this wonderful Friday? Joe back from the hospital. over in Westwood. Not a bad ride. Considering I never drove too much, because my husband always drove, but well, he's not no longer here with me, no longer on this plane. Rest in peace, Mr. Perry. Yeah, so today would have been my 20, 22nd wedding anniversary. Um, yeah, that was a total switch and bait. That was a well, it was a, thank you. I don't call people's names out. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, it was a switch and bait, and what happened was we were here in my house. We were in a relationship, and I had taken a leave. I had take because I had all these health issues going on. I had severe chronic anemia, digestive disease, digestive disorders up the wazoo, where I was just like, how I survived all this is never for the grace of God go I. Alhamdulillah Rahman Rahim. So anyway, so I took a medical leave and I went out on a medical disability, right? From health, PTSD, stress, blah, 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 blah. That was also, following the incident with that S-bag that they didn't do anything about, little short arm, little Guido, Ed Delatorre, POS, but he's getting his, Justin believe he's getting his, and he's going to continue to get his. So anyway, we get married, right? And what happened was when I was on this leave, I had said my health insurance through the city ran out, and then they sent me the COBRA letter. I said, all right, well, I'm not going back to work, so I'm going to figure out what I got to do because I need to heal. My body totally shut down. And then I had asked him, I said, well, can I go under, we're living together, can we be domestic partners? And he said, which I don't believe, but who knows, probably not, because like I said, everything was like a weave and a delusion. He said, no, you can't. They said, no, you can't. They don't acknowledge. He said, they don't recognize domestic partnerships. And I was like, well, what year is this? 1950? I mean, come on. And then I said, I'm always going to be real. Fakery is not me. Anyway, so, and then he said, no, they won't do that. And I said, all right. And then, and I said, well, either he said it or I said, no. I said, oh, well, what, do you have to only be married? He said, yeah. And I was like, oh, all right, well, what do you think? And he was like, I'll get more money in my taxes. I was like, well, okay. Do you love and care for me? Or you worry about your taxes? Oh, yeah, no, I love you. Well, anyway, it was all a scam. It was all a freaking scam. What happened was he had gotten himself in a situation because of inaction on his responsibility component of being an adult. The story goes that the wife he had before me, the common law wife, he said that she wasn't paying the bills. I went, okay. They lived in a house. I said, okay, well, who got the loan for the house? He said, it was in his name. I said, okay, so they don't contact you? This bank, this mortgage company did not contact you? Because there was, the payments were late? Oh, no. And I'm like, okay. A big part of me wanted to believe that. So I went along with let me believe him. He had a situation. I understand things happen. You get in a relationship, it turns out that it's, It's a disaster ship, not a relationship. So anyway, we go ahead, we get married, right? And well, everything that was hidden came to light shortly thereafter. And it just continued to snowball. It continued to always be some type of wall that we hit as a relationship, as a couple, because of not being honest. So, um, so with that being said, basically, it was all bullshit. Honestly, it was really total bullshit. And well, come to find out, well, the reason why it was all bullshit was because when you have secrets, when you live in a world of secrets, and then you pull people into your secrets, thinking that they're going to be horizontal with your bullshit, think again. Think again. Because, so that's what happened. And then once, it was like kind of the same thing. I was like, well, listen, what are we going to do? Well, we can work out. Oh. He used to tell me his bullshit. Oh, yeah, city people, right? You just get married and get divorced. I'm like, ain't about nothing city, state, country bumpkin. I could live on the freaking moon. You got to be honest. You got to be straightforward. It's not about where I come from. Anyway, so it was constant. And, well, he hid who he was. And by hiding who he was, he created chronic stress in his body and smoking and drinking and and working like a dog. You can't work your body like a dog. You're just a number. We are just a number. When we go, it's like, oh, nice, they were a nice person, goodbye, get somebody else to fill that spot. That's life. And now in this day and age, you don't even need a body. All you need is a few keystrokes on artificial intelligence. So yeah, that was that. So today would have been the day, but oh my God, what a all part of the book. It's all part of the book. The craziness. Um, it came down to one point where he basically kind of gave me a green light because we were not having relations, and I was like, well, what's up? What do you got somebody else? Are you on the down low? What the F is up? Oh, no. Oh, if I can't give you, you want to get somebody else. I'm like, oh, so really? You want to give me a green light to go hook up with somebody else? Tell me what happens. What happens if I go ahead and I do that? I get involved with somebody else. Somebody else has feelings for me. And then what do we all end up on the front page of the newspaper? I said, no, you live in that sick, twisted world. It ain't happening in my world. And so, yeah, it was all bullshit. And then after he died, the story with his son, oh, I want the phone. Because they're all liars. But that's all part of the documentary in the book. And I got to contact that ADA out there in Pinocchio land because these people didn't do jack shit. And it's the Klansman pass, the Caucasity pass, but when for people like me, black and brown people, and I say we, black and brown people, because technically my birth certificate says white, but technically I'm black because my father was black. He was, Cuban, black Cuban, as they say, hi, yellow, and then from the Russian, from my grandfather, their African ancestry, which comes from, Arab, Muslim. So, yeah. But yeah, these people, they did nothing. But it's going to be part. It'll be part. And with all the correspondence, it's all going to be included. Because, you see, when you do shit like that, and you don't correct it, then it transcends to the next line. You understand? Now my son has his stuff with addiction, but as far as being a con and a BSer and getting over on people, no. Addiction is a genetic affliction. And his father had issues. So and then my father had issues. So the gene skipped me. It skipped me. I'm not gonna say I'm not an angel. I didn't like. I wasn't a weekend warrior. Yeah, I was years ago. Uh, but that whole scene of people. Oh yeah, you want to chip in? We'll go get a blank ball, an eight ball. Yeah, okay. Being polluted and then being useless for like 2 days, watching people. I was like, no. Are you out of your mind? No. I got things to do. This is not me. This is not me. I've always been about business and taking care of stuff. So, but anyway, so my message is to anyone: if you're going to indulge in a relationship, um, make sure you got paper on that person, not money paper. Who they are paper. You got to know who they are. And if somebody lies to you, well, and they're not honest, when people do stuff like that, those are the people that have a lot to hide. And when you have a lot to hide, well, therein lies conflict when you are in a relationship. you know? So, yeah. Thank God I survived that shit. Oh my God. Yeah, that was. And for like men like my husband that are workaholics that are never home, you just gotta let them be. Okay, all right, honey, bye bye. The food's in the microwave. You want to make yourself a plate, knock yourself out. You know. But yeah. Mm-mm. Had he been an honest man, he'd be here today. He'd be here today. Um, he used to do stuff like play these head games. Like, I'm into sports and athletics. I love boxing. I love MMA. I was doing MMA before it became a sport out of self-defense as a kid. I don't promote violence, but if you got to defend yourself, you're gonna go all out. But so anyway, I went 2015. There was a boxing event in Las Vegas, and I was like, "Come on, hon, let's go, let's go." I can't. Come on, we'll go for 3 days. So you work an extra. You work. I can't go. I can't go. I gotta make America great again. No. He did have a personality like Donald Trump. He did that. He did, with the arrogance level. But so anyway, I go to Vegas, and then I come back. And oh no, it's when I went to California. I wanted to go to him and I go to California. No, I can't go. I can't go. I was like, all right, well then I'll go. And then oh no, it was Las Vegas. Then when I come back from Las Vegas, he says, well, I'm gonna go out to Arizona now. I'm like, you blankety blank. You couldn't go with me. And then I was like, you know what? You really have to go. You need to go. You need to be out of my house. And then it was just always back and forth, this back and forth. And then what he did, because he was an emotional abuser, he kept these tanks in my house, in my garage. All right. And I say my house because when we moved here, I bought the house on my own, thinking that after we got married, knowing his salary, that he was a hard worker and he did all these side jobs, we could become partners. He never wanted to do that. No, 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 no. I'm like, well, listen, are you halfway in, or are you all the way in? Because if you're all the way in, that means you become partners with me, and we do this, as a couple. No, 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 no. And then anytime trying to do stuff here this house was built in 1966. It was kind of like definitely a fixer-upper type. Not a bad fixer-upper, but it needed improvements. Always met with challenges because he wasn't honest. He wasn't honest. So what he thought what he was going to do was, after he got himself situated with his finances being better, he thought he was going to waltz on out of here. And I was like, yes, sweetheart, you can waltz right on out. Go right ahead. But we're going to have a settlement as far as some type of alimony support because you bullshitted and fronted the whole time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, ladies, men, whoever you get involved with, just, who is this name? What kind of name is that? Who is this person? 7 years ago. Hello, 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 hello. All right, anyway. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I don't talk to people on these apps. Nope. Yeah, so everybody, just, thank God I'm a fierce individual. Because if I was a weak bitch, boy, well, I would have been probably incarcerated for losing my mind because people messing with you, you know? But you got to hold on tight, and you got to know that when you come across situations like this, that everyone is human. Everyone is human, and people make mistakes. But when you make a mistake and you involve another party, and for your own benefit, that's not good. That's not a character that trait that's well, it's not good at all. Oh God, the stories. There's so many. I got so many. All true. All true. Well, he's in heaven now. He's maybe he's welding some. Maybe he's welding the gates of heaven to keep out the bad people. Um, he's up there with his father and his uncles and his aunts and whoever else, his brother, all the other his loved ones that have passed before him. The main thing, people, like when I talk about taking care of your health and eating right, if you don't eat right, if you don't nourish your body properly, and if you don't modify what you're doing to your body, like if you're like overindulging, if you live a life of overindulgence, you're going to have a short lifespan. And inclusive with that short lifespan, you're going to have a lot of ailments that are going to arise from living a life of excess and indulgence. So it's super important to moderate everything that you do in your life. I mean, look at the videos. Watch my videos about watching like the situation with my poor brother. He's in some freaking place is nasty, dirty. Aesthetically, it looks good on the outside, but the room that he's in, it looks like I don't know. The last time they cleaned the floors, they sanitized it, but it's got a lot of funk. It's got a lot of funk that it opens up your eyes to, well, I've known this forever and ever, but it opens up your eyes to the scam of health insurance. Healthcare should be free. Healthcare should be free in this greedy ass society that we live in. They come up with these codes, right, for diagnostic codes, and like the stuff that they charge for things that they buy everything wholesale, and then they'll charge like the insurance. They'll charge you $20 for like 2 aspirins. You know, this is our society. This is where we are. This is where we are. And all of these politicians that are horizontal with what's going on in Gaza, that are horizontal with genocide, well, they all need to be removed from office as soon as possible, because they're only serving their pockets, people. They are not serving the public. They're serving their pockets. They're serving their investors. They're serving the satanic people that are doing what they're doing. Yep. The world we live in, people. The world we live in. Now that the world has opened up their eyes to what our country is about? I'd like to know, why is it that we're having a parade on Saturday for a genocidal nation whose prime minister and heads of state are unaliving people? Why are we having a parade for this? Why are we having a parade for this trash? To further exemplify how douchebaggery we are? Because that's what we're doing. It's exactly. Sick world. What is this? Yeah, if you're still on, Isabella, there's the man that I follow. They're his dog's cousins. That's who my dogs are related to. Etta Jane and Bear. They are cousins. We are family. We are family. Let's see something. No, I don't want that. I don't want any of this stuff with AI. They're building an AI data center in Orangeburg, New York. Over in Rockland. Mm-hmm. I have not heard one politician speak upon what's going to happen to the future and to current employees with artificial intelligence. Have any of you heard any such kind of speeches that they maybe have conjured up? I haven't. Where are young kids supposed to work? Where are the children, adolescents in grade school going to work when they become of working age? Well, now, according to this, the labor law, this president, they'll have kids working as young as like 8 years old. You know. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. We are living currently in a dystopian scam artist world. That's what we're living in. Mm-hmm. What are these people saying? Who are my top fans? I have top fans. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hi. Thank you. What's everybody doing this weekend? Any great plans? Any plans? Any exciting plans? It's going to be an event tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of activities this weekend. Hey, NYPD. NYPD, when will you stop having uniform members doing administrative clerical work? I worked as a 9/11 operator. First, I was a police administrative aide, then a 9/11 operator. There were cops in communication doing our job. So I have to contact some people, former PCTs, if they're still alive. Well, I know through Office of Management, well, actually through DCAS, we're all Department of Personnel, where for all police communication technicians and police administrative aides that worked in communications on the consoles, when there were cops there, we also need to be paid the same salary, the day rate that the lousy cops are paid. Or we get a 20% increase to the amount of time. Because why should a uniform member who's going to retire in 20 years be doing a clerical admin job of a civilian. Why? Because of a corrupt system that we live in. Because of a corrupt system. A lot of the people that worked in communications, there were females and there were males. From what I saw from the males that worked there, they looked like they had some issues. You know, I mean, everybody's got issues, but there were a certain few. Oh, and there was this one little Jewish sergeant. This guy, if he was 5'1", he was tall. Yep, that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. Government is the most corrupt operation that's going on. As long as they're taking money from a foreign nation and they're using policies against communities of color, well, that's been going on forever. That's been going on forever. That's why I tell people, stop spending your money in places where they'll take our money, but they won't invite us in. You understand? They'll gladly take our money, but they won't invite us in. You know, it's like you can get served at, you can pick up your food at the back. You can't come into the front, but we'll be happy to take your money. Don't frequent any establishment like that. Nope. We are now at a crossroad in history where we are going to have to go back to like horse and buggy days, like cart and buggy, but instead of cart and buggy, it's going to be online, or have places where individuals can have our wares be distributed without a third party rip-off scandal system to make you-know-what's richer. All right? You see what they do on Amazon? What Jeff Bezos does when there's a seller who is selling a product, whether it be their own unique invention, their own creation, they'll go ahead, they'll mass produce that same item and then bump that person out. You understand? Because this is the D-bag society that we live in. The world's waking up, though. The world is waking up, and we're like, nah, you could take all this, you could stick it where the sun don't shine. That's right. Anyway, you're compassionate, caring, and it's going to now do what I need to do here. My savagery comes from the abuse that I have witnessed, the abuse that I have experienced, that my family has experienced, that I see countries witness and experience. Gaza, Congo, all over, Ukraine. For what? For what? We're going to make a movement. We're going to start a movement where we stop shopping there's no shopping 1 day a week. Whatever, if we all do it on the same day, you want to see how quick they'll start to make amends, to make things somewhat more affordable? Because where we are now, listen, it's like, okay, I'll put it like this, and anatomically, when you gain weight, right, whether it be through genetics, stressors, environment, consumption, illness, when the body gains the weight, and then your tissues and your visceral, all that accommodate to the weight you are. When you lose that weight, all that sagging, that excess, right? That excess, which is excess waste, has to go somewhere. And that's what they're doing now. That's what we're going to be led into, because we have the economy has blown up and it's destroyed now. The economy is destroyed. So now they're going to try to put little bandages on it to make it go somewhat, to slow it down. But it's going to be now forever just jacked. I mean, that's not a good analogy that I used about the excess body weight, but what I'm trying to say is, like, when something gets distorted because of inflationary measures meaning, like, your body can inflate, the economy inflates. Well, it's hard to put that genie back into the bottle. Nothing against anyone, if for body, any excess weight. I don't want people to think that. That's what I mean. Mm-mm. We're screwed. But hold on tight, people. Hold on tight, because leaders topple, leaderships do crumble. They do. And well, stop giving these people your money. That's the way to stop it, and keep showing up. Again, the fact that New York City they've been having Israeli Day parades, and Israel is responsible for so much carnage and genocide. Sick society. Very sick. Very sad, very sick society. Anyway, everybody, the light always shines through. The darkness stays in the dark. Yep. I'll be back. Bye. Stay safe, stay well, and always do the right thing. Bye.